Retro.
Ladies and gentlemen, we in the building. Another episode, AAL2 Turf Talk. This is season 2, episode 4. I'm joined this week. We don't do this often, but we're doing it this time, specifically with some players and personnel from the Carolina Aviators. So we're gonna be chopping up, talking about what's been going on with the Aviators. They're newly back. They're newly, into the AAL2 this year. So we're gonna talk about that, as well as just what's been going on, how they're feeling about draft coming, a lot of good things that are going to be happening in AAL2 this year, as well as some tie-in with, of course, AAL as far as, some overplaying games and draft different stuff. So we're going to get to it. It's your boy, Kuma King. It's always your host. And we're going to go around here and just have everyone introduce themselves and let you know how they got to where they're at as far as, their journey along arena football. And apologies to everybody early. I do have a little bit of a southern twang, if you can't tell, and I'm a little under the weather, but I'm gonna push through it. So you might have to listen to me a little harder if I ask you something or if I'm saying something, but work with me. All right, so we'll go ahead and get this thing going, fellas. I'm gonna start on over here with Q. Q, can you hear me? I know sometimes things are good and then they're crazy. So, all right, so Q to jump out and jump back in. So we're going to go ahead and slide over to Devin. Devin, if you would, just let the people know your name, what position that you play or positions, and then a little bit about your journey to get to Carolina Aviators.
Yeah, no problem. First of all, thanks for having us. As you said, my name's Devin. I'm the center for the Aviators, and actually play a little D line. And last game, I was a kicker as well, so I get to add that to my resume. Big man at kicker. As far as my journey with the Aviators, I was actually a part of this team the first year they came out in 2019 before the COVID hit. Um, Before that, I played with the Charlotte Energy and the Upstate Dragons, so I've been in the arena game a little bit. Um, like I said, once COVID hit, kind of stepped back from it and went to more of a coaching role for different high schools and um, different leagues and stuff of that nature. And this year, just decided to dust the pads off and the cleats off and get back out there and see if I still got it. So once I saw that the Aviators were coming back, I really enjoyed the program. The first year I played, so I said if I was going to play for anybody, I wouldn't mind playing for this organization, Coach Bear. Uh, so that's my journey, and that's why I'm here.
I love it. I love it. All right, RJ, we're going to go ahead and slide down to you next, sir.
You said you're going to get me? Alrighty.
Yeah, if you can just let everybody know, RJ, um, just a little bit about yourself and what positions that you play.
My name RJ David. I play for the Aviators. I'm from Rockingham, North Carolina. If you don't know where that's at, it's really in the country.
So it
I
is.
play D line. I'm unstoppable with a block. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I want everybody to know that. I ain't nowhere to be touched. Can't nobody block me in whatever league. And we got a good team going on. And I feel like can't nobody really beat us for real, honestly. We got a good quarterback, good coaches, good offensive line, D line, linebackers. So I feel like as of right now, like all this tough talk going on, this pity pat. That's all.
Well, I'm gonna say, it's easy to talk before the game start, right?
Yeah, yeah, but if you see us play, you would think we already been doing this already. This ain't nothing new to us. It's like cakewalk.
Yeah, I dig it. But everybody kind of think they the ones until they get hit a few times. Then things kind of balance out in their mind a little bit more.
Yeah, that is
You
that is true. That is true. That is true. But we have a tough game plan. I feel like can't nobody really like play because we know football. We all communicate. We all talk before every practice. We talk. We always understand the game before we the student of the game of the sport. You get what I'm saying? And that's
yeah,
what a lot of people don't really understand about it. They just go out there and play. We the student of the game. So people who student the game, you can't really beat that. You get what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I'm not saying y'all specifically. I'm just saying this is the time of year when everybody like, yeah, we gonna win a championship and we gonna do this, we gonna do that. And I mean, I always say the one thing I always say, if you're not here with the goal of trying to win, go home and let somebody else that want to win at a spot. So as long as that's your goal, you know what I'm saying? Because you out here like, oh, I just want to, win 2 or 3 games, you're probably in the wrong place. Now you may end up somebody may end up winning only 2 or 3 games. But if that's your goal, why are you even playing? Or why are you even coaching?
That
You know what
is,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. But I like it, man. I like a little early season snappiness. You know what I'm saying?
I have to put it out there because there's too much talking going on. You get what I'm saying? Everybody talking on a book, saying we this is an easy dub. Y'all, man, listen, man. Talking cheap, man.
For me personally, this is I feel like the teams that you haven't seen before, teams that are coming in, those are the teams that are the biggest question marks, right? Because if you were here last year and you're playing again, yeah, people change, right? But unless you get a new coach, the schemes don't change.
Mm-hmm.
You might get new players, but if the same coaching staff is there, they're not going to come in all of a sudden and say, we're doing everything different this year. So you're going to still have the same schemes, the same tendencies and stuff. But when you have a team that's new to the league that year or a new coaching staff, that's the question marks, that's the variables because you've got to figure out what they're going to do. So I feel like any league that has new teams, those new teams always have a little bit of a heads up because you know what everybody did last year because you got film to go watch. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have film on you in this league. So I feel like that could be a little bit of advantage, especially early on. But keep it moving. Q. Same thing. I know you were in and out, so I don't know if you heard, but just what positions that you play with the team, as well as any relevant information on how you got where you at. Oh, I think you lost sound again. It can be tough.
Yeah. What
All
was you
right.
saying again, my dad?
Oh no, I was just saying that that beginning is fun because everybody kind of has the confidence. Newer teams, I feel like have a little bit of advantage. I don't think people realize that new teams, new coaching staffs, because everything's new. So I think that's something that people miss out on. But this is definitely going to be a fun season. I think AAL2 is a great place to be because everybody here wants to win. Everybody here has a desire to be the best. You don't have a desire to be the best, go somewhere else because AAL2 is where the best want to be. You got to get discovered. People got to see you, but you got to start somewhere. So Q, you good now, bro? Can you hear me, Q? Okay. I don't think Q can hear me, but we'll move on to you, Coach Dozier. So, Coach, same thing, man. Just let us know a little bit about you, and how you got to where you're at.
All right. I'm Coach Dozier, linebacker coach for the Carolina Aviators and director of player personnel. I've been with Barry Merrill, oh my God, some years, over 20 plus years. Um, I played a little bit of arena. Run down my resume, played with the Carolina, the Cape Fear Wildcats. I played with the West Texas Renegades. I played with the Carolina Cobras. I did a little semi-pro, did a little overseas. Um, he actually pulled me out of retirement. Um, my last team I coached was a semi-pro team, and it took the taste out my mouth for a little bit. Uh, all the prima donnas.
Yeah.
You want to say, um, but as far as the team this year that we've built, I I not to sound cocky, I got a strong feeling that we're gonna get real far in this league. And this is a great league because this league is for the development of
Yep.
arena, and it's made to for guys to understand the actual game of arena. And we got great coaches, Coach Larry Green, Coach Terrell Cohen. Um, we got great players. We got a couple veterans that that can play. And like I said, we went down to Alabama and we showed it. We showed it.
So let's talk a little bit about which I showed in Alabama, right? So
Mhm.
from the coach's perspective, Coach Dozer, how do you feel about um, the things that you've been working on, the things that you guys been practicing and wanting to see from the guys? How do you feel
Mhm.
about seeing those things in the game in Alabama?
Um, I mean, I was absolutely proud of the guys. We still got a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
First game of the season, it's always room for improvement.
Yeah,
It's always levels to get better. And that's what we teach the guys. We can get a win, but you got to play every game like it's a championship. You got to play like it's your last. You got to put it all out there. Mistakes will be made. It happens.
yeah.
It's human error, but it's always I guess is how you overcome it as a team, as a player. Sometimes the coaches we might have little hiccups here and there, but we know how to adjust.
Yeah, I dig it, man. I dig it. Q, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we good now. We good
All
now.
right, perfect. So we're gonna slide back. We're gonna let Q introduce himself. There's no positions he played and how he got to the thing with the Aviators, and then we're gonna move on to some questions for the step for the coach as well as for the players. Go ahead, Q.
Okay. My name is Q Hoyer. I'm a middle linebacker slash Matt Jack slash like DN kind of thing. Um, when I first started playing arena ball, I played for Coach Barry, so he the one that got me into it. I came from semi pro because I was in the military, so I just from there I went semi pro. Then I found out about arena ball. Then from there I took off from that, and it got it got me pretty far because I I ended up going to what is it, Amarillo Venom at the time. So I spent a little extent over there. Then I came back over here and I ended up playing in the GIFL. And then I started playing for the Aviators when I found out that they was coming around. So um, it's been pretty good. Like for me, I'm very like a headstrong person. So I'm a very I love defense. I love to hit. So that kind of got me into the fact of arena ball is like quick, So I'm all about it, especially with the big hits, and it's right there in the closed area. So yeah.
I dig it, man. I dig it. So while I got you, the next question this will be for you, Devin and RJ. So I'll start
Okay.
by asking you since you're right on the screen. So you got through at least most of camp, right? Got your
Mhm.
first game under your belt. How are you feeling about yourself, where you're at, and then the team as a whole right now?
Um. So a bunch of the guys I played with already. So we already have that kind of camaraderie. Um, the new guys come in, they fit to the mold that the coaches are trying to build for this team, and everybody's locked in. Everybody is, on the same page. It's a lot of us, and most of us, some of us are like pretty brand new to the game. So most of the veterans on the team are kind of like taking them under our wings, showing them what to do and stuff like that. Because they're already a good player. Plus, when you put them in like an environment like this, is pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. So how you feeling about yourself, and how you're fitting in your role with the team?
How I feel about myself, I feel like I can go with any defense honestly, because It's just the kind of person I am. I learn from seeing other people do it. So if the coach tell me to do this, and then they show me and stuff like that, I'm pretty hands on. I learn pretty quick as well. I learn on the fly, and if I'm the type of person, if I mess up, I'm mess up 100%. So you won't even tell I messed up because I'm still be right there with the play. I'm still gonna be doing it 100%. Full go. So um, I'm very confident in myself. So I'm very confident in my game. So I let my game speak for itself. Really.
I got you. RJ, seeing two questions, sir.
About myself, I'm very confident about myself. Uh, I really does not really talk about my playing skills showed on the field. About us, I feel real good about us. I feel good how the team going. I feel good that we really gonna ball out this thing. We actually gonna get a ring out of here. That's how confident I feel about us. So I feel like we're gonna win it all the way. So
I feel it. I feel it.
uh,
All right, Devin. Same thing for you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. As far as the team goes, like I said, this is my second stint with the Aviators. Our first year, we actually went all the way to the championship, and that was a group of guys that were younger, new to the game, new to the arena. I was the only vet on the team that year
Wow.
that had ever played arena ball, and we still took it to the championship based on just coaching, environment, and like I said, I think we have a 10 times better team this season with the guys that we have. And then just personally, um, not playing since 2019 and come back out of retirement, that first game it woke something up in me. I had a great time. I felt like I was in high school again. I'm not even gonna say arena ball again. I felt like I was in high school again. Um, like I said, and to be the center of the team, the quarterback, he the captain, but I be telling him what to do and stuff too. So I'll be trying to get him on board and everything. But like I said, we have a great chemistry already with me and him. Me and the guys that's playing beside me, the running back. Like I said, we building a great chemistry on the offensive side of the ball. And RJ's cocky, but me and him go back and forth at practices and stuff. And it's just that iron sharpen iron type deal. Because that's the only way you can get better is having somebody that's going to actually test you before the game. So like I said, when game time comes, I'm going up against guys that's not even touching RJ when it comes to how we go back and forth in practice. So it makes the game come a lot easier. But yeah, so personally, I feel good. Team wise, I feel good. Like I said, RJ the cocky one. I try to be a little bit more humble with it, but I do feel like with the team that we have now, it'll be a surprise if we don't go all the way. Honestly, because that's just how we were already starting off the season and how we rolling.
Well, Devin, I want to say, man, welcome back. It kind of it feels good to hear that you kind of say, you know what, I'm gonna chill, just coach a little bit. But then Carolina Aviators came back around, woke something up inside you before that first game, got you back in the pads, got you back on the field, man. So I love to hear those stories because I always tell like even teenagers or whatever, that even though they don't get it yet, I always say like if you're really passionate about something you want to do it, try to follow it as far as you can because that's how you have no regrets. Because if you don't follow it all the way, you're going to regret it in the future. So kudos to you, man. Because coming back and saying, you know what, I'm gonna give it another shot, and then adding kicker to it as well. That's something because kicker could be your favorite guy on the team, or the dude everybody want to jump in the back. So that's a tricky one, especially in the arena. So hey, kudos to you for that, sir. Kudos. All right, coach. So we got these three gentlemen here all repping the defensive side of the ball for the most part, and of course we got our all-purpose center do a little bit of everything. But
Mm-hmm.
where we sit right now, which side do you feel is closer to their max or the top end, the offense or the defense?
Ooh, it's a good one. I'm a defensive guy, so it'll be like kind of mess up to say defense, but you know, But I gotta say, right now our offense is getting stronger.
Okay.
Um, again, uh, Coach Cohen and Coach Merrill, they off two offensive guys. You got the best offensive coordinators I've seen in all my years around the area playing
Mhm.
together. That's dangerous, very dangerous. Um, defensively, we gonna make plays. Like we got guys that's gonna make plays. Period. Um, I don't see I don't see nobody stopping our offense, and that's not just saying it because I'm an A. It's just what I see is football. Like we have a high power offense, and once again, we got Devin at that center, and he anchors that offense a lot.
Yo, I dig it. I dig it. So, gentlemen, I'm gonna ask y'all the same question. Who do y'all think is I'm gonna change up a little bit for y'all. Who do y'all think is more game ready right now, the offense or the defense?
That's a tough one right there. Not even gonna lie. I feel like both sides of the ball be tough,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I'm gonna say defense because like the way Coach Dozier be having us, he don't want us to be talking none. When the game starts, no talking. So I'm gonna say the defense.
Okay.
Well, I'm a defensive person, so it would kind of be obvious as I'm gonna go with defense. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to switch it up and say our offense is pretty good. Like it's dangerous. Even I have like hard times, going against our offense, and I know the plays at when we practicing against them. We doing 7-on-7s and stuff like that, and we going against their offense. We gotta you gotta pay attention because even if we know the plays and they run it. I mean, it's you got to get there. So our offense is high powered and it's fast and it's fast paced. So it definitely gives our defense time to, like Devin said, iron sharpen iron. So I feel like our offense really got something for real.
Okay.
And I'll wrap it up. Like like everybody said, both sides of the ball is continuously growing. So as far as which side is closer to the match, I couldn't say. I would say just from even like a coaching background though, offense is one of those things where we can game plan and the other team has to stop us. So and we're in the driver's seat during the game, where the defense is more reactive. They gotta see what the other team is going to throw at you in the moment. So that's the only reason I would say offense is maybe closer to their threshold. It's because I have the mindset on offense where I can tell the defense what we're running. Y'all still got to stop it. And that's just the offense that we have, like tempo, play calling, personnel. It doesn't matter. Like I said, we go out there and I feel like we dictate what's going to happen when we're on the field. So I would say offense is closer to that threshold, but I still say we have so much room for growth. Like I said, we only had the first game under our belt. We have a lot of guys that first game was their first game in the arena. So that was a culture shock for a lot of them guys. But now that they have that, it's like now they know what to expect. Now they know what to go into these next games. They know the aspect of you get close to that wall, it can be a punisher. So it's like one of them type deals. Like being indoors, the atmosphere, the air you breathe in is a lot denser. So a lot of those guys first time, it was a culture shock for them. But they stood up, they stood strong. We got through the game. We did what we needed to do. And that's the only reason why I would say to your question, offense is probably closer to that threshold because defense is gonna I guess melt to whatever the game what's happening in the game. If the team's heavy run, heavy pass, they'll mend to that.
Okay.
So they'll never reach that max because they're gonna always be changing.
I like that perspective. I think you guys all gave some great perspectives. And what I like for people to take away from it is, you heard RJ say earlier that they're a cerebral team, right? You heard Devin say RJ's a little arrogant. I'm gonna just say he's not cocky. It's just a little confidence. We're just gonna go that with a little confidence. But the thing for me is when you hear these guys break it down, you can see the different perspectives. And what's important to understand is these are guys, experienced guys, different levels of experience, but they've seen the game before. Nobody that's on the screen um, is just their first year playing Arena League football, right? So they understand what's happening. They get what's going on, different levels of that, but they understand it so you can see different perspectives. What I'd like for people to take away is you come into a season, and this is not the first show we've had. A lot of times people say defense is way ahead of the offense is way ahead of the defense. Very rarely have I heard someone come on here and say, it's hard for me to pick before the season starts. So, a lot of people are probably thinking, well, it means they're either both really good or both really bad. I don't think these guys don't have the ability to play, and they clearly have a mind for the game. So I think we're looking at a situation, my opinion, of course. I think we're looking at a situation where we have a really good offense, a really good defense. They're going to get plenty of opportunities to, show that throughout the season, right? So it's going to be enjoyable to watch all the teams this year. I've talked to several of the teams, and everybody feels like they've got the opportunity to win. This is not a knock on anybody. I just like to remind everybody, we all feel confident. What is it? What was the quote? Everybody's a tough guy till they get punched in the mouth. So some mouth punches is going to happen. Some people going to get punched in the mouth. I'm like, okay, I got you. Some people going to get punched in the mouth and fall out. So we'll see when it actually does happen. But a lot of the guys I've talked to, including these guys, I don't feel like are going to, get hit, punched in the mouth and fall out. But somebody might surprise me. You never know. Next thing I want to talk about is from a team perspective. How do you guys feel about the draft, the AAL draft, where the AAL will be able to come and draft some players from the AL2 teams?
Um, I, I kind of I like the idea of it. I wish it would have been around longer,
Mhm.
or way back. When I first started playing, I'm pretty sure I would have been top pick. I'm still top pick. I feel like, but yeah, I love the idea. I love the exposure that it gives us arena ball players is in the developmental league trying to make it to higher leagues. This gives us an opportunity to show like not only do I have film, but you can actually see now like you drive me, this is what I'm gonna bring to your team, this is what I'm gonna do to your team. So I love the idea of it.
I dig it. I dig it.
Um, I'm gonna add on to that. The idea of it's awesome, but it's also an eye opener for a lot of guys coming in because they think it's they're like, oh, draft. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand like, okay, this is what you got to work for. This is what you're here for. If you want to take this to the next level, this is what you got to do. Prepare. So that
Mm-hmm.
means get prepared. That means prepare your body, uh, uh, eat right, work out right, uh, study your playbook. You wanna do plenty of film. Um, that's the main thing people have to understand is it's film. You understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like as far as scouts looking at you because that's the first thing they look at is that film.
Oh yeah,
Most time they'll come look at you in person, but once they see that film, they see the film. That's when they come see. You know,
I dig it, Devin.
I'm excited for, and more so, I'm excited for the younger guys on our team. That they're coming into a situation now that the draft is a possibility. Like I said, I've been playing since 2017, and I even had a tryout with the Columbus Lions and made it through the tryout. But for personal reasons, I just couldn't make that relocation happen at the time to play up there. 'Cause I'm where I'm located, and um, but like I said, for some of the younger guys that's coming up and into the arena scene now, I'm excited for them. My biggest goal is just to help them get to the next level. like I said, now if somebody call my phone, I'm definitely gonna entertain the idea at least because I feel like with my caliber of playing, my caliber of mental, like you said, cerebral, I can play at a lot of high level football still. Even though I'm even coming out of retirement, I feel like I still have a high level of football in me. But my main goal now, and like I said, it may come from coaching high school kids for so long and helping them get to the collegiate level and stuff. My biggest passion is to see the next guy make it in something that they're passionate about. If they're passionate about the game of football and they can make it to the next level, that's what I'm passionate about is helping them do that. So if me playing this game with the Aviators, bringing the championship home to the team, getting those guys seen on the big stage, I'm good with that. So like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see some of our guys not even make it through the season with us because they get drafted and picked up and go on the bigger and better things. So
Okay. And RJ, your thoughts, sir?
My thought is I actually like it how it gives everybody a chance to play at the highest level, and I like how it give people a second chance to work themselves to see what it's like to get drafted and see the fame and see how it is to work with real players who's at the highest level. I actually like that. And, it's like it picks back on what he said. Um, he said if I was good to help out, play on the next team, or help the people play, help our team bigger the left level, which I'm real big on that. So I'm excited to see where it goes. Hopefully, one of us out on the cast on podcast get picked up. So
Yep. So for anyone who wondering, the draft is open to former or current AL2 players. And you just have to go make sure that you register, pay registration fee, all the things, and then you're eligible for, you know, to be drafted. The good thing about it is, even if you're not drafted, that's not the end of the road, right? Because people could leave, people could get injured, things that happen. They still look at you and say, "Hey, maybe I want this cat on my team." This guy who looked good. We played him well. And this is going to roll into my next thing. Kind of going to put them together here. So we've got we got the draft. Talked about the draft. Everybody likes the draft. I think the draft is a great idea, and I think the people who got together and came up with it for this level is wonderful. And I'm sure other people are going to attempt to do it. Not knocking them for that. I think it's when you see something that's successful, we think it's a great idea. You're going to try to do your own version of it. That's a form of flattery. Yeah, come out with something that other people want to copy it. So you have that piece, but you also have, besides the draft, is working hard, pushing yourself to try to see, even if you're not involved in the draft, maybe you're new, maybe you are just not what the teams that you can get to are looking for. Because obviously you'd be going to one of the four AL teams. So if you're not in a position where you may be able to travel to the team that picks you, right, or that is thinking about picking you, then there could be a situation where you wait a little bit longer. But I think this opens up everybody to say we need to play our best. And the question I have is, does this make the games that AL2 teams, in you guys' opinion, are going to play against the AL teams more important? Because you could get, theoretically, your team could get drugged, right, by AL team. Not saying it will happen, but just one of the possible outcomes. But one or two guys look so good, the team like, that. We had my business with them boys, but number 15, number 75, them boys look good. It might be somebody that we looking at in case we need somebody, down the road. Is that a big motivating factor for you coaches as well as for the players? Is those opportunities that you have for AL2 teams to go against AL teams, everybody just giving their best and showing what you guys have?
I think it is. Again, it's a motivator. It makes guys uh, take the game way more serious.
Mm-hmm.
Because I take this game serious, and I hate people to play with this game. Like this is football is life. The quote that he said, and you start to see guys uh aura change as far as like how they approach practice, how they approach a game. They start speaking different. You know what I'm saying? Because now they know, okay, this is different. This is something real. This is I could go here. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
what I tried as a coach. I tried to instill in players. This ain't just the end of the road. I mean, guys coming out of college and not getting their playing time there, and they feel like they need to drop this and this. Man, sometimes it's not the end of the road. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta find somewhere, and like you said, it's got to start from somewhere. You
Mm-hmm.
know, where you're comfortable at, and once you're comfortable in that atmosphere, everything comes to you. And it'd be in a blink of an eye. People don't understand. It'd be in a blink of an eye. Just 1 minute you playing, next minute you getting like 20 phone calls. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people don't understand it. They be like, "Who? Why this guy calling? Who is?" You know what I'm saying? So it's like I preach that all the time, and they'll tell you I preach that at practice all the time.
I dig it. I dig it. Devin, I know you like you. Yeah, that's what you wanted to say.
Oh yeah, nah. Like I said, Coach Dozier, he picked up most of it. As far as should it make the game more interesting? Yes, but I go into every game, and I feel like a lot of our guys are starting to understand. You go into every game with the same mindset to do your best, win, no matter what the outcome is, no matter if you wait on a phone call uh, or not. Like you said, you never know who's going to see you. And like you said, we can go up against a team and God forbid get drugged, but you play a personal game. You're like, yeah, we beat that team by 20, 30 points, but this one or two or three, four, five players didn't make it easy. It was just a
Yeah.
team as a whole. So like I said, that would be the most interesting thing to see going forward is how having that little itch in the back of your head or the back of like our player's head, knowing that you never know who is looking at you, what eyes are looking at you. Like I said, we try to tell them. Like I said, I'm a player, but like I said, I kind of be sitting with the coaches and sometimes at practices.
Right.
Like Dozier will tell you, I'll be sitting beside him and like talking, chopping up with Coach Barry as a coaching mindset because I believe trying to help the guys understand. Look, bro, like it's a possibility, but a lot of y'all are coming into this game with a semi-pro mindset where you didn't
Mhm.
have nobody recording the game, so you didn't have nobody scouting the games, or you just showed up, played, whoop de whoop. You might be the best player one game, whatever. But now it's like there's always eyes on you. There's always gonna be eyes on you outside the field. Like your social media and stuff is gonna be, some of these teams they might see you on the field, and then they're gonna look at your social media and see you out clubbing, out smoking, out doing stuff, and they're like, okay, we don't want that image for our team. So a lot of our guys and a lot of guys in the league have to understand that going forward, that it's more than just that time on the field and what goes on in between the lines. You got to know what goes on between the outside world too, going forward. So
And I feel like the AAL2 teams as a whole, I feel like that's something that is definitely a focus, right? Like you want to move, you want to go to the next level, you want to be this, you want to be that. The play is definitely important. I don't think anybody's gonna say, "Oh, as long as if you're a good guy and you play okay." Now you still got to be amazing on the field, but you got to have it up here too. And I think one of the things that I like about AO2 is from the commissioner on down, team owners, coaches, everybody is instilling the mindset in guys, like you were saying, Devin. Play is fine. The social media, your reels, your shorts, all that stuff that you're putting out there, that's how people know who you are. So if you out there wilding out, then people think that you a wild dude all the time.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If you're putting out, maybe yeah, have a get rowdy every once in a while, but I'm not showing any type of alcoholic beverages, any type of you know other elevating substances, we'll just say. And I'm just out here showing y'all the positive of what I'm trying to do, and I'm working on my image, right? From coaches, players, everybody. You want to be working
Mhm.
on your image because if someone hits you and they're interested in you, You don't want anything that you've done to be the reason why you don't succeed. Sometimes it's out of your
Correct.
control. Y'all know how it is. Sometimes you go somewhere and somebody's hurt, or they just want to bring in some competition to try to light a fire to somebody. But hey, every opportunity is an opportunity. Maybe you don't stick in the first or the second, but you keep getting them. You must be doing something right. And I think that's the big part that I know. Devin, I know you're telling guys, and I'm sure that the rest of you gentlemen are as well, Q and RJ, because y'all been around. But yeah, definitely. So back to the question, RJ, any thoughts?
Nah, I ain't got no thoughts. Everything you said was true. I ain't got no thoughts. What you said?
Okay, now it
Al-
sounds good.
Also
Yeah,
too,
shot me a little bit.
if I could add, um, a lot of guys, and I preach this too, um, how you carry yourself off the field. That's a big thing. Especially when we have our youth looking at us. I'm really big on that. Making an example for younger guys, guys out of high school. And something I'm starting to see with this team that I haven't seen in a long time is the competition for a position. Back in the day, if we played, it was almost fights because somebody was fighting for a spot. The competition was big. So I'm starting to see that a little bit with these guys. Um, and I like it because that's old school football to me. It's been watered down so long to the point where it's like, you know, like I've interned at a couple colleges and seen guys come up there, and the first thing, like, just this, soon as they see their social media, bye bye. They just don't want to deal with it. So
Yeah, you got to watch all that stuff. Anything you want to add, Q?
Can you ask the question again?
Sure. So we were just talking about like how managing being a player, what you're doing on the field, and how you try to connect that to off the field and put that all together to try to be that total package when teams come looking for you, and how you can make that happen.
Well, I was always coached to go into every situation like it's a job interview. You wouldn't go to a job interview all sloppy. Like you wouldn't go to a job interview with your shirt unbuttoned and your tie hanging out for you. So why would you go to a football team and you have telling everything that you're doing. You putting in half the potential that you can be doing because you think, oh, I got a name for myself, so they already know who I am. They know who a lot of these guys are. Like you think your film is the only film that's good. I'm pretty sure it's 100 other people whose film is probably way better than yours. But you always got to stand out. You like what can I do to stand out? And that goes with your social media presence as well, because I know now social media is a lot of us, a lot of everyday life for us. So to get your name out there. So if you want to brand out yourself, put a name out there for yourself. You can't. You wouldn't attach yourself to something that's raggedy and you ran down. So why would you present yourself as a raggedy and ran down person? Going out clubbing and drinking every night, or not taking care of your body, not taking care of your health, your mental, like not doing any of that. The coaches give you a playbook and you're not going over your playbook. You're just going to the next practice. Don't know what you're doing. You can get cut like that. And um going me coming from like that level of football, I know because I had a coach. His favorite saying was, "My bag get you cut." So um, that right there, travels a lot. So I see that's how I see it.
Definitely. It looks like it's going to be a very interesting season. A lot of teams feel very confident they play as they should. Talking to you guys, I definitely feel like you've envisioned it. You're playing. You're trying to make things happen. You focused, and you guys are ready for all comers. So if you play these aviators this year, y'all better be ready. These guys seem like they focused. And what I'm excited about for AA2 overall is that level of focus, that level of quality play. It is a developmental league, but at the same time, it's being presented in a way that's more professional, right? And that's it's important to me. I've
Uh,
seen. Oh, go ahead, coach.
Coach Merrill just want to know, could he chime in? He's done with his meeting. Is that possible?
Yeah, don't hop in.
Okay.
But what I like is how things have been moving. How all the teams have been doing their best to put the best group of people out there. And just to take a step back for people who are watching, right? If you're newer to this or you've been watching before, you kind of understand arena football. Not one thing that I want people to understand is these coaches are tasked with taking a group and saying we got to find our best guys that can play together out of this group. They may not always be the best individual player, but the best team of guys that can play together. And then they got to work with those guys, keep those guys straight, keep those guys focused, keep things moving for the season. And then as a player, these are not guys that are getting paid. This is development football. So these guys are out here grinding. They still have lives. They still have jobs, other things that they need to do. So it's a lot of dedication on both parts, but everyone's bought into what they want the outcome to be. The outcome is to get those opportunities, move to, the professional level, and get a little bit of compensation. I expect to go out there and make big money, but at least be able to manage things, have a little extra income coming in and whatnot, and then depending on how things fall, other opportunities. But so many guys being so passionate and so dedicated at this level, that is that's a kudos to everybody involved, right? All the teams, because it takes a lot, motivation wise and everything. It takes a lot, and these guys put in the work. You can tell that they're putting in the work. When you see these guys on the field, you're going to be able to see that the work's being put in, right? And that's going to be exciting. So you guys are one of the newer teams. I'm here in Charlotte, so I'm not too far from probably where you guys are playing at. So
Mhm.
if people want to kind of get an idea, get a understanding of where y'all guys are going to be at, where will you guys be at, and how can people? And I'll ask this at the end as far as the tickets. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in there now too. How can they find you guys, find your home games, all that stuff, and also how can they get tickets and how can they find where you guys are gonna be playing it? So a lot in one question, but I do that sometimes. My bad, but that can keep me cut.
Uh, so we'll be playing at Apex, North Carolina,
Okay.
at Triple XL. Uh, as far as tickets, you can go to the website and purchase tickets. CarolinaAviators.com. Um, I think there's a link under there to where you want to purchase season tickets or just tickets that day, or
Hmm.
you can pay as you come in. But we will be in Apex, North Carolina.
Okay. So everybody watching in the Apex area, y'all got a team. Come out and support them. If you coming through the Apex area, just plan for one of the weekends where they're gonna be there. Come check them out.
I, I think we'll have a pretty good crowd out there. I know a couple people out there. Uh, this area, we're trying to steam it back to the arena era where people was coming. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when we had the Cobras. Oh man, I remember walking in there, boy, and you see about like close to 10,000, 15,000 people.
That
You
was the
know,
time. Yeah.
and that's nerve wracking as a player. You know what I'm saying? You walk through there, you're like, man. Um, but uh, again, I see the other teams. I see what's going on. Um, and this is coming from my point of view as far as this team.
Yo.
Nobody's doing what we're doing. as far as what we're doing, the shedding players, cutting players, everything. Like we have a system here, and the system is tight, very tight shit. Um, and we're thriving for perfection for this season. Because I was with Devin, I was coaching when we had that first championship, and they counted us out every game. Every game we were supposed to lose, every game that year, and we proved it. We proved it with some young guys. We proved it. So I this is personal for me this year. It's a bit personal.
I dig it. I dig it. And I think the thing is, hey, you got to make it happen.
Hmm.
And you got the right group of guys, you got the right coaches, you got guys that know each other, know how, you can kind of get in each other's mind, like, all right, I see it for this way. I know he's gonna see it like this. So this is gonna be what's gonna work for both of us. I think it's important, and people can kind of overlook some of those things, right? Guys that kind of know each other, have played together before, built the camaraderie. We might be ready to fight because we both trying to be the starting wide receiver or the starting cornerback. But if you beat me out, all right. But I tell you what, don't be slipping because I will take your job. These
Hmm.
guys move, so the opportunities guys get hurt. Like I say, there's so many ways that you get to display your talent, and being hungry is definitely very important. Uh, Being present, listening, being able to be coached, it's a lot
Hmm.
that comes with it. And then again, that overlap of getting some exposure from AAL because of certain teams playing teams AAL and whatever. That's another big thing because it helps. And I want people to understand this. AL is its own league. AL2 is its own league. We mention them because they're intertwined because one is professional, one's development. But
Hmm.
these guys are here because they want to play football.
Hmm.
If these guys don't move up this year and they end the year right where they're at, they will be fine. They're not going to be disappointed. They get the opportunity and it works out. Everybody's going to be happy for them.
Hmm.
This is one place I can say where I generally believe when they say, I'm not going to hold you back. If you got an opportunity, I'm kicking you out to go take it. I believe that because a lot of places, your better players, you don't want to lose. So you try to block them and
Hmm.
you don't always allow them to have the opportunity. But for what
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
seen throughout this league, when opportunities come, they're celebrating. They're happy for the guys who get them. You put in the work, you put in the time, you get the opportunity, you take it. You've been developed. You've got good tape out there. You're in a league that's going to get exposure. You've got some big time games you're going to play, right? You've got some rivalries you're going to build. So there's so many different things that are happening that can help this be a successful league and the teams that be successful. You've got the AAL there, so teams do really well. Opportunities there. Maybe you want to move, right? Move up to AAL. That's a possibility. So I think there's a lot that's happening, and it's going to be fun to watch. More teams than last year. It's going to be fun to watch and see what happens. And I'm really excited for that for this season for everybody. I know you guys. It's the first time I've got an opportunity to talk to y'all. It's been a great conversation. I appreciate y'all coming on. As far as other teams as well, a lot of these guys had a head on straight and they had a focus. The difference is going
Hmm.
to be talent. I'm just going to be 100% honest. The difference is going to be talent. I think there's a lot of strong coaches in the AAL too. There's a lot of guys who've been doing it for a
I
while,
agree.
guys who are newer, but it's going to be talent because you can have a good game plan, but if the other guys got better talent and you're both good at what you do, the talent's going to probably win out. You can out scheme
Hmm.
somebody sometimes, you can figure out different things, but for the most part, coaching, um, the combination of coaching and talent, but when coaching is going to be pretty even, find those little kinks and little things that you can do. And that's going to be what's going to be fun and interesting for the season. So I know that one of the coaches was trying to hop on. I don't know if he's having a little.
He just messaged me. He said he's waiting, so I guess you got to chime him in.
Yeah, we're gonna pop him in real quick. But while we're getting him in, well, I guess he's not here for the moment. But while we're working on that, what I'd like to do is just go around, have everybody give their last thoughts And so James, there you go with the mess. There you go. But what I mean when I say I'm gonna explain, give you a minute. I'm gonna explain. So when I say coaching is gonna be even, obviously there's gonna be some offense is gonna be a little bit more better coach, some defense is gonna be a little bit more better coach. But the entire staff, the offense and defense of a team, I think there's gonna be a lot of linearness with that. So it's gonna be whoever has that good bit of talent, knows how to use that talent just a little bit better. But again, it goes back to the talent. Obviously, some coaches are going to be able to do some things, but you want to believe, like, at least from where I'm looking at, my perspective, there's a lot of good coaches, a lot of guys who are going to help guys get better, going to develop them, going to put them in the right positions. The one thing about it, the one thing that's important is going to be what you do with that talent because it's going to be there. So that's what I'm saying, James.
I
But I
agree.
appreciate that, Coach World. I knew you was going to say something. It's all good. But so yeah, I'll start Q with you, and I'll just go from Q to RJ, Coach Dozier, and then Devin. If you guys would, any last thoughts, last words you want to have, and then let the people know, where they can find you, and then Coach, if you would also let the people know where they can find the team. All right, Q, we're gonna start with you.
Uh, my last remarks, my last saying. I'm just ready for the rest of the season, man. I'm just, ready to see what other teams bring for us, so we can go ahead and do what we got to do. Because the Aviators is a team to beat. I'm telling you right now. So that's my last words.
I will say that a couple people have already said that the champion's gonna come from the South again, like last year. Just put out there what people said. Seen in the chat, talked to some people from different teams in the South, and been saying that. Of course, people from the South or fans of it, but ain't nothing wrong with that. Probably should have saved RJ for last. Was probably gonna be fun. But RJ, last thoughts.
Yeah, you know me, man. I'm just ready to go ahead and show out, man. Go out there, prove people wrong, let them know what we do. This is nothing new to us. We gonna take over. That's all I'm gonna say. They all that, like I said earlier, all that little wolf talk, man. They selling wolf tickets. They ain't doing nothing with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that. You can find me on Instagram at Slump Lord SLVMP underscore Lord. Um, that's all I gotta say, man. Just know we outside. That's all I'm gonna say.
I like the Ti reference with the selling wolf tickets, by the way. So I like that. Um, all right, Coach Dozier.
Um, again, I feel very, very confident about our year. Um, not only because of the players we got, but these players they're trying to play every position. That's how bad they want it. And I've never seen a group of guys like this that just want to, coach, let me get out there. I can do it. Da-da. You don't want to do, I like seeing that. Again, I'm more on the humble side right now because I rather see you game day. I'll talk my trash then with much I can talk, but uh, again, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
All right, all right. And of course, last but not least, sir.
Yeah, like everybody said, it's gonna be fun. Like I said, I'm glad that I made a decision to come back out. Um, like I said, right now it's a waiting game, man. Waiting for the next game to come up so we can just go out there and perform. Like I said, Coach Dozier, he talking about me. I got real excited during the game, man. Playing center, playing kicker. I wanted to play D line. Coaches kept telling me no because they was like, you playing too much, man. It's your first game back. And then eventually they look down the line and they need somebody, and I just run out down the field and they just like, just go, just go. So, just being able to have fun again with the game that I love to play, game I love to be around. Like I said, I got a little man, he's two. Having him be able to see dad go out here and do what he do, it's probably the biggest highlight for me. It's just being able to have that moment with him. So like I said, I'm just ready for the season to keep going, ready for the next game, ready for the home game, first home game. Like I said, ready to see what the turnout's going to be. I got a lot of family and friends back that way, so surprised that I decided to put the pads back on. So I already know they're gonna come out and show support. But yeah, man, either you with us or you're not. You better get your airplane ticket. About to take flight.
There you go. And remember, y'all, if you are in or around the Apex, North Carolina area, or you're going to be doing one or more games, come check these good people out. You know, what I can tell you from the games I've been to is always good experiences. It's always fun, always some interaction, high energy. It'll be fun, and it'll be a very low cost alternative for some of the other places that you could be going. So keep those things in mind. Um, Want to say to you, good people, you know, good luck on the season. Congratulations on joining AAL2. Good luck on the season, and hopefully, the way we do it during the season, probably know you probably been watching, but the teams
I
that
got,
win are here.
I got something to say.
Oh, now you
And
got
I'm
something to
done.
say? Go ahead.
Listen, I got something to say. I've been seeing the little comments at the bottom, people laughing, people joking around. All I'm gonna say is this: before you start laughing, do your research on all of us before you get to laughing. Do
Okay.
your research. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done talking after that. I had to go ahead and clear it up. There was too many people laughing. I had to go ahead and put it out there. I'm sorry, Coach Dozier. I'll be quiet next time. I'm sorry.
You,
Hey, it gets real. These are competitive gentlemen, man. They not here to just play. Like they competitive. They trying to win. Coach Moore, there you go. I knew it was gonna be Coach Moore. I knew he was gonna do it. Coach Moreland, man. Oh, Coach Moreland. Coach Moreland. That's all I'm gonna say, Coach Moreland. But yeah, good luck to you guys. We have the teams that win on from week to week. So hopefully we have you guys on several times throughout the season. It's hard to go undefeated. So sometimes you get caught, but if you won't hear more than not, then you win. And that's what's important. All right, so for the AAL2, for Shady Sports Network, as well as for the Carolina Aviators, it's your boy Cool McCain. Another successful episode of AAL2 Turf Talk. This one, all about the Carolina Aviators. And with that, we out. We'll be back next couple of weeks for some more episodes. Things are about to get serious, y'all. It's about to get fun.
appreciate you having me, man.
All right now.
Absolutely.
Retro.